At first it was just radio and TV, and Manny was one thing about Manny, he always did his own thing. Whether it was whatever he was doing, he always did his own thing. And I didn't really see him, but I always had him in my class, and that's how I met Manny. That's how I knew of Manny. It wasn't until, I think, sophomore year when he started coming out with Savage High, and it was just a big buzz in the school. Savage High, this kid's making his first movie. Manny came up to me and talked to me about Savage High. I was supposed to, I think, play Sylvester, but I didn't get to. It's because I had things going on in my life and at that time, and he had things going on in his life at that time. But Manny still kept it going. Manny had his plan and he kept it going. And
well, in the beginning, I always saw that his hair was like right here, and he would dress in like regular clothes and be quiet in the background. And next thing you know, he came up to me and he was like, "Oh, I want you to be in my movie. You look like the perfect fit for it."
All right, action.
Y'all gotta come in. Nobody has police. So, and I'm like, well, I want to be an actor someday. So I guess I'll try it, and I guess it came out good because he liked what I was doing, and it made me feel like really cool and awesome. So you didn't put up certain letters in her locker?
How I met Manny was my first day of entering Roberto Clemente in junior year, and we had some looks looking at each other, you know, like, I think this girl got an attitude, and be like, I think this guy is like kind of like has a little attitude too. So, and then we just started clicking because he just was finding actresses to play in his movies and stuff, and I'm not much of an actor myself, but I like to, you know, try new things. So I actually hit him up and I was like, "Hey, I would like to enter your movie Savage High." And he's like, "Oh, well, I love it. So let me know more about you." Then that's when everything started. So we just became like the bestest friends.
So I met Manny, I teach seniors. I met him when he was a junior, just because he's Manny. Like at our school, everybody seems to know who Manny is.
Savage High, I can't really remember how it started. It was such a long time ago.
The first time I talked to Manny, I think he knew that I write and record music, and he came up to me and just started a conversation. You make music, I make movies. You got to make music for my movies. And I thought, yeah, okay, that's cool.
I worked at Jewel-Osco, and I worked with Manny Velazquez's brother Alex. We were talking, and he's all like, "Yeah, my brother makes movies and shit. They suck, but whatever."
Sorry, this wasn't my intention. To all you fans that are upset at me and sending me death threats, forgive me. But I worked with Alan at Jewel-Osco, and
I was like, "All right, cool. Put me in it." I mean, I
remember my brother telling me, saying that this kid he said he was a model. He did model, and he did some plays, I think. And he told him, "Oh, my brother, Manny makes independent films."
it was just like a regular random conversation. He worked at Frozen, I worked in Dairy, and I said, "Man, bro, my brother's doing films," because he was a model and he was doing all this other shit, supposedly. I don't know.
I thought it sounded cool. I never thought it would become big. I was like, "Yeah, just tell him if he needs anybody, I'll help out."
But I told him, "Hey, my brother's doing a film. You should, if you want to do something." It was like, we didn't think of it as like this big thing he did, but we just thought, oh, it's like a little short film, cool, whatever.
After talking to Alex talked to his brother Manny, and Manny told me, he contacted me on Facebook. He's like, "Hey, I'm recording a movie. Do you want to have a part in it?" And I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, even if it was like tiny, I was like, whatever, just put me in it.
He actually got serious about it, so that's when I introduced him to my brother and whatnot, and there it is.
And I played the part of Zach, who got murdered. So, after talking to Alex talked to his brother Manny, and Manny told me, he contacted me on Facebook. He's like, "Hey, I'm recording a movie. Do you want to have a part in it?" And I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, even if it was like tiny, I was like, whatever, just put me in it.
I'm shady? You're just jealous over the fact that I'm still dating
And so he did. And I played the part of Zach, who got murdered. And people were glad that I got murdered because I did a scene where I was peeping in into the bathtub of a girl, like, taking a shower, and then I get murdered, so. I told him not to do that because people would be glad, but whatever.
I remember being summer of 2014. I got to work with Alan and Jennifer, and I think I remember my first scene being with Jennifer at the school at Clemente.
18, scene 1.